Say welcome to who is here. I'm going to give people a couple minutes to jump on. You guys can probably see who's here more than I can right now because this is all brand new to me. I'm at least doing it at this level. So I am going to say my name is Anna Gopian, and I am the executive director and founder of TriCircle Incorporated. Gratefully so. And this is what it looks like to have a board of directors meeting or a meeting with us 2020, end of the year, that we're all looking forward to shaking off and moving forward into the next. Let's see. So what I want to do real quick is going to get rid of some of the business stuff that we have to do. And I want to introduce to you the two newest board members. So you're seeing Julie Price. She's at LCSW 2005, and she obtained her power yoga certification at that time. And in 2019, she went ahead to obtain her master's in social work. As a licensed clinical social worker, Julia developed a specialty knowledge base in trauma, specifically childhood trauma, stress and developmental trauma, and has integrated her experience as a yoga teacher into the clinical practice with additional trauma-informed yoga training. Currently residing in Guilford, Connecticut, Julie has a private outpatient practice and works for the state of Connecticut. In 1999, at the age of 29, Julie entered recovery herself from addiction. As acknowledged that recovery is a one-day-at-a-time adventure and continues to work daily to maintain and grow her recovery. Julie enjoys sailing, kayaking, and while continuing volunteering her time to the recovery community. Last but far from least, she is exceptionally proud of her 20-year-old son, who she has raised as a single mom. So Julie's one of our newest board members. And next we have Emily Noonan. Emily is an attorney at the Robert Noonan and Associates in Middlefield, and Emily's firm represents employers and employment and employee benefit matters before courts, state, and federal agencies. The firm also advises employers and insurance professionals on workplace problems and employee benefit issues. The firm's clients are in several different states and with a greater frequency locations in Europe. Emily holds a bachelor's degree from the Sarah Lawrence College and is a Juris Doctorate degree from the University of Connecticut in law. And we're going to be actually just having kind of a group vote on this. The renewing board members whose terms are up now is Ray Demers, Karen Corvo, and Christine Gagnon, and they've all agreed to move forward. All those in favor of electing our two new board members and renewing the terms for the three other listed members, say aye in the chat. I would greatly. Moving forward, I'm going to show you the rest of the folks that have honored us with their time, volunteerism as part of our board of directors. Ray Demers is our board chairman. Christine Gagnon is our vice chair of the board of directors. Karen Corvo, she's an interim board treasurer. She's done multiple terms, and we're looking to have this position taught to somebody else, and she's going to move on. Kim Nylander, board secretary. John Vilabreski, board member. Here. Elizabeth Hill. Emily Abrahamian. Julie Price, LCSW, and board member now. Emily Noonan. So without me moving back, I'm going to say that the chat is quite full with yay. The TriCircle Inc. Board of Directors meets once a month for 3 hours, in addition to in a hybrid fashion. Board meetings are hosted on Zoom for now, and also from our Middlefield office at 6-Way Road.
Anna?
Yes.
I have a question.
We'll say in the latter part of the presentation, if you have any questions or concerns, you're welcome to send us an email, info@tricircleinc.com. Myself personally, and all of that information will be in the process of the presentation.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware that I could go.
I appreciate that. I think I hear Trish. Is that Trish?
It is I.
Ah, wonderful. Thank you for that. Because we're a nonprofit organization, we're actually governed by the public. And yeah, that's how that rolls. So I appreciate that.
Okay.
Moving forward, Tri-Circle Inc. Has 3 advisory boards, and at this point in time in the year, so far, we've had 42 individual meetings. Those meetings are comprised of the Clinical Advisory Board, Fundraising and Events Advisory Board, and the Communications and Public Relations Advisory Board. And then I'll let you see who's on those. Clinical Advisory Board, which meets, meetings are twice a month, usually on Wednesdays and at 6:30 p.m. Jonathan Beasley, he's the chair. Julie Carmel, she's the vice chair. And as you can see going down, Sheila Owen is our secretary. Barry Gordon, he is also on our board as a member, but he is our past president of the board of directors. And also we have Julie Price, which has just joined us. So she has agreed to be the liaison to the Clinical Advisory Board. Fundraising Events Advisory Board meets monthly, the second Tuesday at 6:30. And as you can see, the opportunity for you too to get involved with Tri-Circle Inc. is available in the chair and the vice chair positions. And standing strong from the beginning, we have Maureen Danick. She is a very strong volunteer and in many capacities has helped Tri-Circle Inc. This one amazingly done, our secretary since the beginning of this board. So the
Yay,
board of directors,
Maureen.
yay, this is where fanfare, I should have added in a button that has clapping.
Thanks, guys. Pleasure.
Board.
I love you.
Board of Directors Liaison is Ray Demers, which is the board chair. And members that I have listed here, but it's only the few that are more regularly attending: Carol Doyle, Trish Williams, Cece Eiley, and Joanne Sotaro. Other than that, we do have an extensive list of volunteers that show up for events, probably about 40 different people. Communications and Public Relations, which has been reconstituted and meets weekly now on Mondays at 11 a.m. Lenore McLean is the chair of that board. Michelle McGee is our vice chair. Secretary is open, so that oscillates between folks. Trish Williams is our editor. The board of directors liaison to this board is Christine Gagnon. And then our additional members, Dr. Elizabeth Kirby Fullerton, and another representation for TCI Live. She's in all of us. She definitely believes in what we're doing. Clinical Services and Resource Center. Our brochure is available online, so this is just a quick view of it. And what I really wanted to let you know is after this particular event, which was an open house to find clinicians for our organization, we now have 3 master level licensed clinicians that I'd like to welcome to this presentation and to Tri-Circle Inc. They've gone through many different hoops along with us. And I'm gonna give you somebody's got to go on mute. And I'll give you a little more about their PowerPoint presentation opportunity right here. So Shannon Talbot is a licensed marriage and family therapist, and she welcomes you to the first step in your journey towards healing and growth. She believes that asking for help can be challenging, and she honors your vulnerability and being available to take this step. A licensed marriage and family therapist who has experience that includes working with individuals, couples, and families, as well as facilitating group therapy. Shannon has 5+ years in this field and works with a spectrum of people who struggle with substance use disorders, addiction, and mental health issues, including PTSD, depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and other mood disorders. Shannon's approach to wellness includes various evidence-based therapy modalities such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, trauma-focused therapies, dialectical behavioral therapy, motivational enhancement therapy, and more. Next, we have Stephanie Harris. She's an LADC and an an LMSW, and I think she just sat for her C. So we'll be able to change that in the next meeting. As a psychotherapist and addiction specialist, Stephanie's #1 priority is to create a safe space for her clients, and she has worked in the field of addiction treatment in a variety of settings, including medical detox, residential programs, and outpatient treatment. Stephanie has the experience with treating individuals who have co-occurring disorders like PTSD, anxiety, and depression, as well as those who struggle with loss and spirituality. Stephanie has experience working with individuals who are involved with the legal system, Department of Children and Families. Stephanie is an advocate for the benefits of medicated assisted treatment when needed and will collaborate with the psychiatric provider to determine how to best meet the treatment needs of those individuals. And we have Stu Baker. He's an LADC, licensed alcohol and drug counselor, and for more than 40 years of experience that he has as a clinician assisting individuals with both substance use and co-occurring disorders. He is trained in evidence-based therapies of cognitive behavioral therapy, motivational enhancement therapy, and 12-step facilitation. His clinical experience includes assisting individuals in their efforts of recovery from substance use disorders, as well as coping with trauma, depression, and anxiety. He has a broad knowledge of medicated assisted treatments, including buprenorphine, naloxone, and collaborates with licensed medical professionals. Mr. Baker is based in Middletown, Connecticut, and currently offers clinical services with Tricircle Inc. in Middlefield, Connecticut. So I'm really grateful to have these folks on board and to let you know that our clinical services have availability, AM and PM hours and days, and is accepting new clients. We take many different insurances, including Medicaid, Anthem, Connecticut, United Healthcare, Optum, Anthem, did I say Anthem? Yeah, Aetna and Cigna. And this is our mainline office here in Middlefield. So out of the 11 support groups that we have every month, 7 of them are Hope and Support, and 4 of them are Hope After Loss. We've had 118 meetings so far this year, and our meetings are all available on Zoom. Hope and Support Group facilitators, Janet Rooney, Melissa Simone, Shannon Talbot, Karen Zabrowski, one of our paras, Alfred Diarina, myself, and then we have Julie Harlow. This is one of our pieces of literature available on our website. If you have any questions or concerns, when we go back to a face-to-face, we will be going back to these towns and open for additional towns if it's something that you wanted to look into. But during COVID, these meetings are being hosted on Zoom on the same days and times so we can, transition back. No matter when we transition back, though, Zoom will stay available. Hope After Loss groups, Patty Harris, Christine Gagnon, John Lally, and Kathy Lavallee are providing these groups for a month. And this is the brochure literature that's also available online. Each one of these groups also has its own brochure. Happy to be working with a service coordinator. We subcontracted Angela Gratian. She's been doing amazing things with us and for us, and we look to continue to evolve the responsibilities and the position moving forward. So Tricircle Inc. also has so many people behind the scenes. Adam Heckler for information technology deals with me regularly. Actually, all you guys got to deal with me, so you all should be up here. Bernie Staggers, photographer. Robert Golnick is our CPA. And now for our legal supports, we have Robert Noonan and Associates. This information is also on our website. I want to make sure that I didn't leave out the fact that we have a great appreciation going out to Anissa Maroka for working with me as my subcontracted executive administrative assistant. Her support while launching many of the startup items has not gone unnoticed. Some people I've known longer than others, and Anissa gratefully stepped in at a point in time that we were finding what it is that we needed to do. So kudos to her. This is just another piece of information online. It's just has everything in one place, so hope you like it. I do. I like the fact that there's spring flowers on it, so I'm looking for that. Six-way road, that's where we are. The sign was part of this little cluster here, but now if you look behind Larry's head there, you'll see that Tricircle Inc. has a new office, and this is our ribbon cutting for our new location behind us, which is a memorial quilt that we did. We have a second one about to start up. And this ribbon cutting gratefully provided by the Middlesex County Chamber of Commerce. This is some of the interior of our new office space. We have a large group room and then an individual room that is connected with, there we go. That would be the individual room. We went ahead just passing December 1st Giving Tuesdays. $100 and counting. Some people are still donating. Feel free. It's up there and available. And this is from TCI Leaf. This is a woman that's joined our path and has made a mission of hers to move our vision forward, but a commitment to herself from her organization to gain proceeds of $10,000 a year. This is the third year. She has superseded, like she always does. The final numbers aren't in, but I know we just breached over the $10,000 mark. This is one of the last events, which was a music fest. And incorporated with this, you'll see the toys that are here in the top left corner. That's because CC is working now alongside with Bags of Hope, Tri-Circle Inc. and DCF for Spread the Seeds of Change for Children. And this particular event is going on until December 12th. We have a drop-off location in our Middlefield office, so you too can drop an unwrapped toy and pick up a seed card. Oops, that's wrong. And then the seed card is something that you can plant in the spring that actually grows wildflowers. So spread the seeds of change for children. At the end of this presentation, if there's more questions in that regards, or you can talk amongst yourself in the chat. And Cece's here, I know that. So if you have questions, ask her and she can do that in the chat for you too. This is just another one of the events. This was something large in the community that the AquaTurf, just more of our amazing events and a couple of our interns. Masters Manna has been a location that we've been able to engage with regularly with donations that we are provided from many different places, many different people. But we heard that there was a need for bread this particular day, and our board chair also volunteers there. So I took a stop in at Stop and Shop, and like I do, I asked the manager if he would match a donation for me, and we made sure that they had the bread they needed for that particular day. I know that we've gone, last year it was over 1,000 pounds we donated of stuff and clothes, but this year it's just different. Everything's different. This was the recovery concert, Connecticut Recovers, Keith Urban. So there was a really great crew of us that went there to enjoy and share with people. It's more of that event. And I know. This is Wallingford Elks. We're incredibly grateful to be working with what they have as a national of the Elks for addiction recovery and information. We are receiving checks of $2,500 from them, and we are able to collaborate Tri-Circle Inc. with Tri-Circle Restoration, behavioral organizations, and other platforms, and provide Narcan trainings, raffles. This was Everyone Knows Someone Too. There is hope. This is something that we do, and I have a great passion for, is connecting folks in the community. Amazon Smiles, Tri-Circle Inc. is platinum status of GuideStar. We are a member of Amazon Smiles, so in your Christmas shopping, feel free to transition all of the benefits to us. Here's another one of Cece's gigs. This is the blessing of the bikes, which happened this past spring going into summer. She's relentless. COVID will not stop her, but it has stopped what we've done and also extended our creativity. So yay, Cece. And that's Sarah. That's her daughter. That's an awesome picture. Setback. Oh my God, we deeply miss Setback. This is just one of the evenings prior. I did a group shot here, but we were playing once a month on Fridays, and I'm happy to say, without solid details at this point, we're looking to work with Lyman Orchards to create a new one moving forward into 2021. Elizabeth Kirby Furlerton is a psychologist, and she is a founder of Recovery Your Family. She and I are working together to actually write a book. She is a mom of 4 children, 2 of which have been affected by the disease of addiction and mental health disorders. But, you know, she really has boots on the ground wanting change, and we've met each other years ago and have found a great comfort working together, and look forward to engaging folks that are willing to engage with us. Opportunities will be online to write this book and to share solutions to the, you know, the pathway to thriving in life. This is just one of the many different things that I've done and been able to sit at tables at the surge board meetings and become part of the second annual recovery fair for teens. We were in the first one as well. We just went through a 4-part series, Grief in Syndemic Times, the intersection of overdose-related deaths and COVID-19. We've had a partnership here with the Cove. And the Cove for Grieving Children, its main campus is in Meriden, Connecticut, and they have 6 satellite offices providing free services for children up into the age of 17 and their families that have been affected by a loss, not specific to an opioid use disorder or the disease of addiction, but definitely felt it important that we have this resource and relationship built so we're able to provide it to folks that may need it in the future. This from the presentation that was done in those 4-part series for that symposium. These are some of the alliances that we have in the community, and then the donations were made to help offset the cost of the grief toolboxes that will be getting mailed out in the beginning of this week for the people that attended that those training parts. We too were part of the Boscov's Friends and Family. We haven't found out the outcome yet, but grateful to take advantage of opportunities to engage wherever they may come up. Yeah, pins, who doesn't like that? All right, and I had the opportunity of working with Georgianne on her program, Midlife Matters, which could be taken in 2 different ways. But it was great to be able to share with folks, and this is based at WPAA in Wallingford. We had the opportunity to sit together and have a chat. A remembrance quilt, and make sure that I say that the Connecticut Clearinghouse was worked with the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services to create what did they call theirs? I think they were the remembrance quilt when we're the mobile memorial. And Rosemarie Pernetta, her niece Denise Porto, they were instrumental in actually bringing things together, and so we have a quilt that's amazing. Rich and Leah Stanzel gave many of the embellishments and art pieces and items, stencils, things like that for folks that were creating the squares that became our quilt, and all of the many volunteers in the many ways that your efforts and generous donations helped to make our first memorial quilt possible. I can't thank you enough. This is where we had COVID style opening to be able to display the quilt for the first time was at the Chauncey building at Gaylord Hospital. There's 36 people on this quilt. It is our first quilt and the second one. Everything's online. We're getting ready to cast an event for that. Our 3rd annual raffle, which helps to offset costs of events moving forward in our general funds, was a great success. Thank goodness Lenore McLean from the Communications and Public Relations really engaged with all of, press releases, stuff like that. That whole committee was amazing. And all of these wonderful things are now out of my house as well. We have so much great stuff going on. We need a big building to put it all in. So here's an opportunity that you too, I don't know, when I come back on screen, I'll show you. We have the coffee with us. So Cup of Hope, it's TCI Strong. It's how we're able to share with you, providing hope 1 cup at a time. I always believe over a cup of coffee, a walk or a car ride, some of the best places that we can have shared experiences. So these 2 things this time at Christmas, we're offering both of these for only $12. This is our cup has also been made famous 2 different times on Fox 61 and Coffee Cup Salute. Another organization that's really joined forces with us and provided some support with the proceeds from Outrun Addiction. Man, they just, we all tuck and roll when it comes to this COVID thing. And they had an incredibly successful second virtual 5K event. I think this is actually the 3rd. No, I don't know, 2nd, 3rd. Wallingford Dash, I'm a Wallingford community woman, as long as a Wallingford Elks member to the 1365. And this is just something else that Tri-Circle Inc. is really going to get behind when we're able to reconstitute the great Wallingford Dash. Live Loud Families is a component of a state how do I say, it's a launched campaign from the state of Connecticut. Live Loud Families is really out there under Demas's guise as a large organization, but Live Loud Families is DCF. Tricircle Restoration LLC was included in this particular project, which is the paraphernalia project, and TCI was recognized in that presentation. The Connecticut Women's Consortium Help is here, and all of these videos are available on the Live Loud Families component to the Live Loud campaign on Live Loud Connecticut. Another one of Cece's events in the midst of her creativity, it turned, instead of a mud run face-to-face in the mud and all the obstacles that we built. I didn't build, but I dug some holes and got dirty a few times. CharityChallenge.net had a distance counts virtual fitness challenge. So we did have, you know, the opportunity to do this like so many people are making available virtually. This is just us doing what we do at events, making things colorful, fun, and available. Team Sharing, another organization that we're grateful we have the opportunity to work alongside, because, you know, when someone leaves this world physically, we have to let folks know that their loved ones are not gone in vain. And we will be treating the whole disease of addiction when we continue to talk about your loved ones and provide the resources to the families that have been left behind. Team Sharing is a national organization. We're our vice chair of board of directors, and another one of our paraprofessionals for Hope After Loss are the co-chairs of the Team Sharing Connecticut arm to the national organization. So Kathy Lavallee and Christine Gagnon, their cards are there and they're available. Information is on our website as well. Let's see, we've worked alongside with many different people, and putting this together, I put up the WTNH. Christine and I get to work together. And please look between Ray Demmer's arms to see the little baby Gizmo dog. Yes, he was intently working that day. And we look forward, we have on docket for June of next year, the deposit. So we're going to have this event next year. It's already scheduled, and little Gizmo and hopefully his brother Gadget at that time will both be able to visit with us as well. Two different events, the open house, which I earlier shared, in D'Angelo's, we were able to have an event that our interns at that time put together. Anywhere that we can partner, this was Matt's mission. And then a creative organization through Vintage Soul, we were sponsors to a play, and this play is being provided in many different school systems. And if you were to look up Vintage Soul, you'll see the other ways that your children can engage with some of the creative activities that she's doing. Singo, get your bingo on. So Singo's musical bingo. They also now have regular bingo and trivia. So under these weird circumstances in life, they have this opportunity to do on Zoom.
So I titled my essay Finding Purpose Through Pain, and I guess I'll just start reading it. But growing up, my brothers and I lived a simple, good life. We participated in sports coached by our father. Our parents worked solid jobs, and we were always running around the neighborhood playing with different friends. We grew up in Southington, Connecticut, a town that is majority Caucasian, has strong athletic programs, and is well off in terms of money. I coasted through high school, including my health classes, where I could barely pay attention and still get a good grade. It wasn't until my junior year of college that I realized I should have paid more attention to those health classes. And it wasn't until then that I realized addiction does not discriminate, no matter what color you are, how much money you have, what town you are from, or how much love and support you may have. I found out my brother was enduring a journey with an opioid addiction, which moved from prescription painkillers to the most addictive drug of all, heroin. The more I learned about my brother's disease, the more I learned just how common it was. I started researching and paying attention to the news, who continuously mentioned what is now known as the opioid crisis. Addiction did not discriminate against my brother, no matter how good we had it growing up, and it won't discriminate against millions of others who experience this terrible disease that not only consumes the individual, but also their family, including little sisters like me. I graduated from college in 2016 with a degree in exercise science, but I immediately knew I wanted to go back and get a teaching degree in health education so that I could teach young high schoolers about topics like mental health and addiction before it was too late. As fate would have it, I got a job in 2018 teaching at Southington High School in the same room that I sat for health class just 7 years prior. For the past 2 years, I have been looking into the eyes of high schoolers who are just like me, naive about the harsh reality of life. I do my best day in and day out to hit home about destigmatizing addiction and encouraging those who are struggling to get help, showing the ways the brain changes in an addict to prove that it is a disease, and making sure my students advocate for themselves when it comes to making healthy choices, even if a doctor says it's safe. To start off all of my classes on day one, we do a cross the line activity. I read the prompt, cross the line if your family has been affected by addiction in some way, and to little surprise, 90% of my students end up crossing the line. It has been fulfilling to connect with these students and help them better understand the battle ahead of them. The message really hit home for me this past December when I lost my brother to the disease the day after Christmas. As difficult as it was, I got back to school 2 weeks later and started teaching on addiction again, hoping that my pain would resonate deeper with their young minds. My big brother was my role model my whole life, and his disease did not define him. I continue to look up, quite literally, to heaven, to him for his work ethic, his athleticism, his love for family, his gentle heart, and tough spirit. I knew that to put purpose behind pain, I had to do more, which is why I am deciding to further my studies and pursue a master's degree in health and integrative healing from the Graduate Institute. This degree will not only help me understand addiction even better, but also help those who are in my brother's position. I have been used to helping people who are indirectly affected by addiction, but I look forward to helping those directly affected as well. In addition, I hope to start my own foundation someday to raise money to donate to local police departments to fight drug trafficking, as well as to donate to those who are having trouble affording treatment services. When it comes to mountains in life, I believe you have two choices: let the mountain stop you or find a way to climb over it. I choose to do the latter. My heart aches every day that I do not see my big brother. Sharing my passion for this topic with others makes me feel like I am not letting him die in vain. It reassures me that there may be a greater purpose that I am put on earth to fulfill. Taking my next steps in my education, I lost my screen, hold on, will allow me to continue my role of teaching others to reach out and help those in need. It will also allow me to encourage the recovery process. In 2019, Connecticut faced their worst year yet in overdose deaths. By furthering my education and sharing my passion with others, I hope to see this number reverse in years to come. I am willing to take the steps needed to put purpose behind pain and help others do the same. Sincerely, Cassidy.
Thank you. That was very nice.
I know you guys are all on mute, but I know you share my thoughts without crying. I'm really proud of you for, I'm so glad I'm on video. So proud of you for what you've done in this short amount of time. And as we enter December, there are so many people that ache through the holidays. So when you cross your first line of, ties passing, we'll be thinking of you. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you guys too for everything that you're doing and for all you've done to help me as well.
Oh my goodness. Let me try to recompose myself. And not to minimize anything, I'm going to move forward, but I'm really grateful that you're here and you kind of salvaged me in that recording. It came out well, so I'm sorry nobody got to see it. It came out really good.
Oh, that's okay.
I'll put it up on the website in the scholarship page, just so folks can see it at another time. I just wanted to make sure, Chris Fuhrer, expert embroidery, that you all know that he's been very kind and reached out to us offering to do the embroidery of our wares, like our sweatshirts every year, or the past 2 years. And again, he did it this year. He also embroidered hatch verses, and amazing work, and just really grateful. Someone that grew up down the street from me in the Yalesville section of Wallingford. So when celebrating the good together, we are stronger. I always say that. And many thanks to our supporters that choose to create Facebook fundraisers when celebrating their birthdays. To date, that we've had the honor and privilege of receiving funds from 16 different people who believe in our vision and shared their celebrations with us. So thank you for all of those folks. And here we go. We have Karen Corvo, board interim treasurer, which is sitting here with me now, and she's about to give you some, well, no, she's going to give you the financial overview. If you have any questions or concerns, like I had said earlier, and I'm seeing your chat right now, so we can answer those questions in the latter part of this presentation. So here we go. Karen, it's all you.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a very fine Sunday morning. To go over what's in front of you, the contributions and public support, which is $24,943. A big chunk of that, over 10,000 of it, is from the Charity Challenge. Thank you so much for that work. Also, that figure contains the Cassidy Chamberlain Team Tyler funding, the Outrun Addiction funding, Community Addiction Awareness also gave a fairly large donation, and it contains the memorial donations. We do receive memorial donations. So that first large figure is from the contributions and public support. Then I'm moving into the fundraising. Now we had limited events and fundraising and limited public events. So the fundraising that you see for $2,424 was the gala raffle. And, you know, with no one there, that's very good money. That was the third annual raffle. That line, fundraising and events, is usually, usually about $18,000. We did pick up fundraising. So I started with the fact that we had limited fundraising and events and public events because of COVID. However, we did make up funding in other avenues, so we were not as a whole hit very hard. We were hit, and we would have been even much better off. But as far as what we're living through, we've done very well. So the fundraising and events, which is $2,424, was pretty much the raffle gala, the third annual raffle. And then the next line, which is grants, that consists of Demas grants from the state of Connecticut, the Wallingford Elks, and the PayPal giving. Those are considered grants by paperwork when we get certain funding from PayPal, not all funding. The Facebook birthdays is pretty self-explanatory. There were 16 different birthday fundraisers, and I thank everyone for that. We also have a line group service contracts, which is actually the town of Southington. After that, we have community engagement and training support. Now that income comprises of a balloon raffle that was held at the 2020 Music Fest that was held by the Charity Challenge. We also, before COVID hit, we went into the Elks and gave a Narcan training along with a para project. The next line, in-kind contributions. That's when people donate just goods and or services for raffles, or if there's a professional service that comes in and doesn't charge us, I still have to do a journal entry. So that's what that figure is comprised of. So our total revenue from January to October is $99,880, and none of that could have happened without all of the support from you and our community. Next line is expenses. The program services, that comprises of groups, Singo, our community engagements, the trainings, the symposiums, and those expenses are $49,552. And, that's a good number because that's what we gave back to the community. So it's a high number, but it proves that we are following through with what we have said we would give to the community as being a nonprofit. We gave away the one scholarship to Cassidy Chamberlain. And in next year, 2021, we have hopes of giving 2 $1,000 scholarships. The next line, which is clinical expenses. Now, that number, $6,012, we were able to fund those expenses without having clinical income. So we were able to launch and get going with what we have accumulated in the past 3 years and put aside for our launch. So that is now open and ready for income. The management, general, and fundraising, those expenses are things such as the executive director salary, any stipend. Any professional services we've actually physically had to pay for. The administrative assistant is in that figure. That's really what that figure is, and it's $13,268. The operational expenses, which is the next line, is very well stated. It's things like our rent, our software, office expenses, filing fees to stay legitimate with the Fed and state government. That's actually not a bad figure. I have compared them with other operational expenses, and I'd love to say we're a lot low. We're not, but we're low for all of that is being done. Now I'm going to move into what's called change in net assets. The next line says net assets at the beginning of the year, and then net assets as of October 31st, 2020. The beginning of the year is obviously taking, well, not obviously, I'm stating that the beginning of the year is taken from 2019's tax return and brought over to the beginning of 2020. And as of October 31st, we had 56,681 in assets. Now that gives us a change in assets of $11,938. Some of that is cash flow, but it also consists of purchases that the corporation has made, such as a communications upgrade, computers needed for groups, new things for the office. And they do add up, but Anna's the coupon queen and has kept those costs to an incredible minimum. So going forward, if you look at the change in assets, we are growing. And with the past year we just had, that's a wonderful thing. I am done. One more thing I wanted to say that's not on this screen. As of October 31st, we are at 5,000 volunteer hours. And again, that's with no community events, not none, but very little community events and very little fundraisers. So at this point, I just want to thank all of the community for helping us, and everyone who's on this screen. You go far and far beyond what, even when we ask, you go an extra step. And I thank you all very much.
Moving forward as an organization, we want people to question us and what we do and how we do it. I wish it was done more often. And with saying that, I think it's a perfect time to speak about alliances and what they mean to us. They're relationships that are forged between 2 or more individuals or groups that work as positive for both parties involved. A union or association formed for the mutual benefit in a state of being joined or associated. And I use that, our alliance page on our website is going to be updated very soon, but these are just some of the people. There are more, but it was easier for me just to pull this slide already created, just to let you know of some of the organizations that we work with regularly. I know the Elks isn't on here. There's many of them that aren't on here, but this was just a slide that I had. So I'm going to move forward into what we do every year and hope to continue to do. It's called the Plaques of Appreciation. And this is where we're able to acknowledge volunteers, business, and an exemplary, I can't even say that word. I got to change my word on that one. Just a really cool person that does a lot of stuff. How's that? And we have a couple certifications of appreciation that we'll also be giving out. These plaques will be mailed to the folks that I'm about to talk about. So let me show you what's about to happen. So plaques of recognition and appreciation We have 2 volunteers for the year, and it'll be Kathy Palermo and Michael Downing. We have the Business of the Year will be CompuMail, and the 2020 Excellence Award is going to be going to Jonathan Beasley. Certificates of Appreciation, a new relationship that we have just forged, to the Beloga family, and then Leah and Rich Stanzel. So Kathy, and I can't see the top, well, I can't see it, but the top of the words goes through saying something like AK, Kath, Aunt Kathy, Mrs. Palermo, however you want to do it. She's 1 in a million and one of the like solid foundations and most generous people that I know. Unwavering service to her family, her friends, and the community, and especially Tri-Circle Inc. is one of the her giving and her generosity is just one of the many admirable qualities that she has. AK, you are a very strong grounding force in my life and have been part of the foundation of Tri-Circle Inc. Together, we are stronger, and I am incredibly indebted as not just your niece, but as all that you do for us, I know you do for many other people as well, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So these are just some of the fun folks and pictures that Kathy's in, including Setback. In the very first event that we had, the meet and greet, launching Tri-Circle Inc. as an organization in 2016, is a bottom left corner picture, which is also Leah. She's in that picture too, to her right. She is one of the people, along with her husband, Rich, that got a certificate. So AK, shout out. Next, we have Michael Downing. And he's like a bonus relationship that's come with the years of time that I've known Cece. Always willing and never more than a phone call away. People may never hear of all that Mike does, but you're a quiet guy with many humble gestures of kindness. You're greatly appreciated, and all that you do does not go unnoticed. So thank you very much, Mike Downing. There we go. Business of the Year, CompuMail. So CompuMail has been amazing. We're building this relationship. It's getting all of our needs met, and I definitely challenge most people to stretch past their norm. And let's see. So fulfilling our needs and making themselves available for support, the discounts that come along, and meeting with the USPS, and also being a nonprofit, they're always been willing to step up for sponsorship and making things happen for us. They're also very open to me calling and asking questions and, hey, how do you make this work, kind of stuff, above and beyond. So greatly appreciate all of the efforts and participation that CompuMail has given to Tri-Circle Incorporated. And here, let's see, that's Jonathan Beasley. I know you're on this call. Licensed marriage and family therapist, licensed alcohol and drug counselor. Has one of the original members to the clinical advisory board back in 2016, and has been the chair of the board since 2018. So from the very first meet and greet, which is the picture I showed in one of Kathy's slides there, Jonathan has been a solid participant, helping to bring Tri-Circle Inc.'s vision to reality. And ever so grateful for the opportunity to be working along with you and the people on the clinical advisory board. Your guidance and support is invaluable. So thank you for that, Jonathan. I know those are great pictures. If you can see, I have some awesome cupcakes in front of me. That was my birthday.
I just want
Karen's
cupcakes.
critiquing herself. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Oh, yeah, you rock. So I did peek out and notice that Justin Patterson is on this call. And I really want you guys to know that normally our annual meeting would be an individual event face-to-face, and I like to have a speaker at our gala brunch silent art auction and raffle. So being that neither of those two physical events are happening, I wanted to include like 5-10 minutes, Justin, however it works best for you. We put that aside for you to share with us your journey. I know I met you through your mom and dad, and however you choose to share. Just wanted to diversify the recovery pathways that people do have options to, and that we want to make available to folks as they come to us. So as one of the multiple pathways of recovery, I'm grateful that you're here to share with us, Justin, and it's you're up.
Thank you. First and foremost, thank you guys for the support that you've given my mother over the years as well. I know she's used you guys as a vessel of support, so I appreciate everything you've done for her. Okay, so I did try and make a video, but you said 10 minutes and they all kept coming up to 25. So I'm just gonna cheat and do what you said and just read the pamphlet. So this was actually a project I had done in college for English class, but took that opportunity to push it through the school as well. But for my testimony, it was, my family is driven on success. If you're not successful, then you're not accepted. With that being said, I started a business right out of high school instead of using the finances towards a college tuition. In the beginning, the company flourished and money wasn't an issue in life. So I invested in the purchase of a house at the age of 22. I had the picture perfect life, a 4-bedroom house, 2 dogs, a beautiful girlfriend, a $50,000 truck, and a thriving business. The hole in my heart still wasn't filled though. Then one night at the side job I had bartending, I was offered a painkiller. Immediately, I thought I found the answer to the gap in my heart and pursued drugs full throttle. I ran down a road of addiction to heroin for close to 5 years. To make a long story short, I lost everything. I lost the house, the girlfriend, the truck, and the business. Then I began my long career of rehabilitation clinics, counseling, and therapy. After going through many different rehabs from Florida to Connecticut to Rhode Island, Massachusetts, I found myself at the doors of Teen Challenge. I started in the Connecticut Center, and because I was still in a familiar area, I was tempted to leave, and I did. The first time I left the program by walking out the front door. The second time I left the program, I got a little more creative. All the first floor doors had been locked. So I was running around the building looking for an easy way to escape. I came up with the final conclusion that there was only one way I was going to be able to leave. I found a lamp to prop open one of the second floor windows in the bathroom and threw my bag out onto the driveway. Before I was about to make the leap, for the first time in my life, I cried out to God and prayed. I told God if it was His will that I end my addiction, that He would have to make it impossible for me to use drugs again. After crying out to God, I made the jump. Now I know God heard me and that He has a sense of humor, because the second I hit the pavement, I fractured my ankle. And to add to that, I also fell backwards into a puddle. That still didn't stop me from my desire to get high. So that I don't get graphic, I failed to find a revenue to obtain any drug. I called the director of Teen Challenge, and he told me the only other option was to enroll in the Vermont campus. So God did it. He made it impossible for me by putting me in the backwoods of Vermont on crutches with my ankle in a cast. Finally, I stripped my pride and became open to the power of Christ and devoted my life to serving God. Since then, my life has never been the same. I stand empowered through the strength God graces me with every day. Praise God for the ministry of Teen Challenge and for the mercy He offers. And so with that, that was when I wrote this when I was 26. I'm 29 now. April 24th, 2021 will be my 5 years. And after going through 5 years of addiction, I consider it my start over period. I've now almost been as clean as long as I used. So now in my mind, my real journey starts now, because I've erased those years of my life that I did in destruction and ruin, and now finally start over completely. So with that
was super fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. That was
Absolutely.
really
Very much.
very, very good.
Thank you for what you did for my mother.
Oh, man,
I
she's
appreciate it.
still here. And she's still helping. You know, she might have moved away, but she's not going to move out of our hearts. And she continually volunteers in regards to, you know, like she has office furniture because of her, all kinds of great things in the midst of her move. So your mom and your dad both amazing. And your brother, I want to say thank you to your brother for his continued service. And with you, you look fantastic. Let me just say that.
Thank you.
Your video, I wanna, if you could, whatever your recording is that you did do, get it to us and I'll make sure I get it up onto one of our pages on the website so we can, make sure that we have it available for other people that can benefit from what you just shared with us.
Okay, absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Anybody have any questions for Justin that he's here with us?
We'll email him later. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's
I
fine.
want to say congratulations, Justin. That's a really big deal. Thank you for
It
sharing
is.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There we go. So that brochure, I can also post that if you guys would like. I usually have them in my bag and I've shared them in groups before. I like the creativity in the name and the before and after pictures of Justin. It really is its own testimony. There we go. So we are coming to a close and we'll have a little bit of time for Q&A if anybody has questions or concerns or offerings of suggestions, any of that. But looking ahead, these are two events that are coming up next. Events, Family Rising Together, Creating Connections That Will Sustain Us. That's happening on Tuesday. And one of our new clinicians, Stuart Baker, he is going to be doing a workshop within that event. Greatly appreciate him taking that on. And facing the holidays, I myself and Christine Gagnon, the Vice Chair of the Board of Directors, will be having a spot in this particular presentation, which is being put on by REP, which is the Recovery Employment Program. If you've never heard of it, check it out. It's part of the Middlesex County Chamber of Commerce, and really grateful to be building a relationship with them as well. All right, so here's something that I talked about earlier. Spread the seeds of change for children. Cece's on the call, so I'm going to run through these three parts and then let Cece jump in if she'd like. It ends on December 12th. I have made packets up, which would have been handed out to you individually if wanted. I can put them in the lobby of our executive offices building here, the front lobby. I can put some of the bags. They have our calendar. We have our new 2021 calendar. We have bracelets, our new cool pens. We have pencils. We have stress stars that have information about us on it too. And then we have the cards that are really talking to and about Spread the Seeds of Change for Children from Cece's event here, working along with DCF. So this handsome young guy here, that's Caleb. So Caleb is Cece's grandson. Her son, Benjamin, passed away on January 11th in 2019, and Caleb is his child, Cece's grandson. So Cece will take opportunities to utilize all these lovely faces that in pictures, and he's online, he's amazing. And using him here, you can see that he's holding the charitychallenge.net, which is her website. She does amazing things for Tricircle Inc., but she's also very much part of our vision moving forward. So on the card that you will receive, it's giving you the opportunity to make a donation of an unwrapped toy. When you drop that toy at any of the locations that are on the card in Region 3 for DCF, you'll get a seed card, which is what you can plant in the spring for wildflowers. And on that card, it says, think higher thoughts every minute. Speak words of hope every day. Know the truth before passing judgment. Look past what meets the eye. There is always a story behind the story. Have compassion for others. Celebrate the good. It's all around us. And be the change that you want to see by setting examples. So I really am just really so grateful that Cece's on the call. I don't know that you have anything more to say, or you want to share the locations, or
more or less what I'd love to say is that COVID has really dealt us a blow that has been surmountable, but we've had to really get creative and resourceful. So in addition to the drop boxes, you can go to the website and click on the link to the Amazon wish list, which has individual children named, what their wish is, gives you the ability to just purchase it and have it shipped directly to us. So it's as easy as a click on the website to order a gift and have it delivered in time for the holidays. The you have to order soon if you're going to participate. Otherwise, we will take gifts at the drop-off locations probably up to the 15th. And gift cards are very popular and sorely needed. Any donations that are coming in, there's also a link on the website to make a cash donation if you don't want to pick a gift out or choose a child to purchase a gift for. So honestly, we would love it if everybody could just click away, go to the charitychallenge.net and help fulfill some of the wishes for these hundreds of kids. We had over 700 wishes and we've already filled close to 400. So in this last stretch, this last week, we're hoping to really cover every child, every wish on that list. Thanks, everybody.
Do you want to just give them a little insight too? I didn't want to miss Bags of Hope. They're one of the organizations too.
Oh, Bags of Hope is amazing. We kind of cross paths in a spectacular way, and they work with the kids in the foster care system who often move from home to home with all their possessions in a garbage bag. And this organization, for every $25 they receive, a child gets an embroidered duffel bag with their name on it to carry their things from place to place instead of feeling like they're getting put out like the trash. So just an amazing organization. The two people that run the Connecticut chapter are tireless, and they put in more volunteer hours than I've ever seen. And I'm really grateful for their association with us. And for something else I just kind of want to throw out there is that sometimes, and we all know that when you mention mental illness or you mention drug addiction, people run. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to engage you. But the minute you bring children who are affected by both of those issues into the fold, people come running to help. And this seed card was our opportunity to convey to them some of the ways they could start thinking about things in the coming year and be helping. Because changing our thought process is what we need to do to change the way we regard and treat mental health challenges and addiction, the disease of addiction. So I think that this is going to be something we probably do every year, and it's going to help us partner better with DCF, with the state of Connecticut, with some of the funding sources we could bring into Tri-Circle Inc. And it's a lot of work, but it's going to be well worth every minute.
Looking forward into 2021, we're really hoping to grow our outpatient program. The options that are currently available in our Middlefield office or by telehealth are available to you, and to share wherever possible. We'd greatly appreciate it. And to continue to build the educational training series that we do, working alongside with the New England Opioid Response Network. We've had amazing success. This past symposium training was our fourth one working along with them. Fostering relationships that will allow for additional support groups in Connecticut when face-to-face meetings become an option again. And the Zoom access will always remain available going forward for all meetings, making our groups accessible to all 169 towns of our state.